Team. Welcome to another Rowdy Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. And that can mean one thing and one thing only. It is a brand new episode of A Worthy Addiction.
Oh, yeah. You like how I'm switching it up every week now?
You're fucking me up here. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, a show like no other, hosted by me and this handsome, awesome, amazing rowdy brother of mine. And let me not waste any time introducing him. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a man usually referred to by the ladies that, honey, he is just a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, my man, Unworthy Dynamite Collector. Woo!
Thank you. It is a beautiful Thursday. We've got an exciting show here. And my host for the evening, this handsome gentleman over here, you may recognize him from Animal Planet's When Animals Attack. It is Toy Addict 17.
Yes, thank you for that beautiful intro. And for anybody,
I meant it from way down.
I know you mean it every way. You mean everything. I believe everything you say. You make me feel special every episode. And for anybody who's watching, we thank you. Whether you're watching on the replay or whether you're watching live with us tonight. Oh my God, I'm screwing my words up. We thank you. We appreciate you. And with that being said, if you have not hit that likes button, please do so right now. Hit that subscribe button also, and then hit that notification bell for more content, or the alternative, don't, because we will be
the
here.
The alternative is you don't need to. We'll be here next week, even if you don't. So it's cool.
We will be here every Thursday to entertain.
You're not the only one that has a hard time committing to stuff. So it's okay. If you don't want to commit to subscribing, it's fine. It's all right.
We love it.
We could take it slow.
We love you anyways. Unworthy, how are you doing, man? It's Thursday. The week is almost over. We're here. We made it. How are you doing, sir?
Well, I mean, I dare anybody to see all these awesome McFarlane superpowers drops and be in a bad mood. Like, how could I be in a bad mood today?
Yeah, he's been dropping some. I actually shared a couple. I don't know if you've seen them before, but the minute I seen them, I saved the photos and I shared them to the chat. They're pretty dope, man. Some of and they're making the vehicles now to scale with.
How awesome is that blue beetle bug? Come on, how awesome?
Oh, come on! I
didn't have that when I was a kid. I'm gonna have it now, though.
Yeah, me too. Anybody that's never owned anything DC related is gonna own one of those. They're gonna own multiple of those.
Damn things.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm in a good mood. That's why you see this big smile on my face. I got a Brainiac ship. I got a Brainiac. I got blue beetle bug. I mean, how could I be in a bad mood?
You know what? That does my heart good to hear that. And I'm happy. And I love. Let me see that smile one more time. See, beautiful smile. Well, yeah, same thing with me. It's been a very hectic week. So I've been on dad mode. I've been being dad. So I'm gonna be dad for the rest of the weekend.
I mean, right? You've been wearing your khaki shorts and your knee-high socks and your New Balance sneakers.
Yep, absolutely. Good. Yep, absolutely. So I'm excited for that. It's always good to chop it up with my kids and just hang out with them and, just enjoy the weekend. I have to work this weekend, but, again, it's good. So, yeah, other than that, man, everything is good. We have a special episode tonight. We have a very special episode. A fantastic episode tonight. And we have not one, not two.
Not even two,
but three amazing guests tonight. And we're not going to waste any time introducing them. So we're going to do them one by one. And let me introduce the first one. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys know him from the live IG show. He showcases a lot of toy photographers. Very soft-spoken gentleman, but awesome guy. Ladies and gentlemen, of our first guest, Mr. Black Pear Studios in the house. Dave, what's going on, dude? Welcome to the show.
Dude, I gotta say, I love your energy. It's bringing me up because I am very just monotone chill. But you I was dazing out before and behind the scenes, and you just popped me. I'm like, whoa! I'm like, all right, we're going. We got this.
There you go. Yeah, we gotta hit the on. We gotta hit the on button when this thing starts. So I
felt it. I felt it.
I'm gonna throw some more. I'm gonna throw some more at you.
All right, cool.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is one of the hosts of the highly posable. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest also does features and also does toys reviews. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Biolabs in the house. Welcome, Biolabs. How you doing, sir?
Yo, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yes, welcome. Now we have.
I love how he introduced you as he says you do the highly posable, like because it's the only highly posable. Like that, that was a stellar introduction.
Thank you.
So, but we
It was
listen.
solid.
We're supposed to have one more here, but I don't know where the hell he went. But when he comes back on, we'll do.
He's here. You may know him as that handsome son of a bitch that runs the Ravens Roost. Oh no, he just dropped off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He dropped off.
There he is.
Is
All
he
right.
back?
He runs the Ravens Roost page
There you
on
go.
IG. You may know him as Big Don. It's Ravens Eye Studios.
There you go.
What's up?
What's
How's it
going on,
going?
fellas?
How's it going?
Yo.
So,
Welcome, guys. Listen, like we were telling you guys back in the green room, thank you so much for being on the show today and being a guest on our show. We're super excited to have you on. I believe this is not the first time that we've had like 3 guests, right? Unworthy, is this the first time we've had 3 guests on? Not just like minus us, like in the Rowdy Boyz,
It's the
right?
first time we've had more than 2 guests on with with a purpose. We've had people on it's like just nonsense, nonstop nonsense,
of
no
course.
purpose, just rambling, and that's usually like 13 White Claws and like 2 hours into the show.
And that's 13 White Claws in the green room, and then we start the show. That's how we do it.
Right.
Dude, that might be me
pretty
pretty soon, bro. So I apologize in advance, man.
Hey, go
That's
right
all
ahead, dude.
You
Go
don't
right
need to
ahead.
apologize. No apologies.
No apologies here. And if for anybody is watching, make sure if you're drinking, please drink responsibly, okay? Don't be listening to this show driving or anything.
Drink responsibly. Drink it fast so it doesn't get warm in your hand. But don't drive though. Don't
Yeah, right. So, fellas,
Too fast.
how are you guys doing? How's your week been? We just like to. How are you guys doing? What's going on?
it's great.
Anybody?
All great.
I'm doing
All
awesome.
good. That's awesome. Good to hear. So before we begin, because I have a discussion question for you guys, I always love to show love to the chat because the chat is here and it is booming, and we love the chat and we love their energy. So we're definitely gonna say what's up to the chat. So first off, we got Mr. Rabbit's Dance Collectibles. What's going on, dude? Welcome.
What's
Thank you
up?
for joining us. We got one of the toy daddies in the house, Mr. No Chewin', who had a fantastic TPC top 10 episode yesterday with Mr. Blaine. Oh my God, I can't even say his name. See, I'm getting Blainer things from NECA. He was on, and just to hear about, like, we were talking NECA toys. I'm a big NECA fan, and just to be able to ask questions, and he's a big horror fan, so I was really excited to watch that episode. So shout out to the Toy Daddies. They had an amazing episode last night.
Nice.
We got our Rowdy brother, Mr. Clintastic 4. What's going on, dude? We got our buddy Rel Collects. What's going on? We got Vico Sands in the house. What's up, Vico? Vico. We got Tripping with Toys. What's going on? Welcome to the show. Welcome. We got one of the hosts of the Skeleton's Tomb, Mr. Toy Mercs himself, because remember, he reminds you that everybody's Toy Mercs. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Deadman One in the house. What's going on, Deadman? We got the Unhuman in the house. Unhuman, what's going on, buddy? Been a while. Nice. Yeah, welcome. One of our first guests. On the
he
show.
was our first. He was
our first
guest.
The first.
Yeah, he was actually one of my first guests too. He's awesome dude, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's awesome,
That's
man.
great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if your ladies are watching, anybody that's watching, if your ladies are watching this live, please cover her eyes because we got Mr. Green Geek 88 in the house. Lady Kill over here. We love him. Green Geek, one of the hosts of the Lazy Boys and the Pick Bar on Wednesdays and on Sundays. So shout out to Green Geek 88. We got Toyota Unlimited. What's going on, dude? We got another Pick Bar Lazy Boy host. Everybody's favorite Rican, Mr. Blitz Fig.
Blitz.
What's up?
What's going on, dude? We got the best brothers in the whole wide world. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chain Brothers are in the house. What's going on, fellas?
Nice.
We got our homie Diggs Figs. Love to say his name. Diggs Figs in the house. What's going on, Diggs? How you doing? And then Links from the Chain Brothers is in. What's going on? Welcome. Everybody, listen, everybody that's on the chat, everybody's watching. Hey, Shout out to all you guys. Much love to all you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for showing our guests some support and some love, because these three gentlemen are amazing, amazing people. They do amazing things in the community. We're definitely going to talk about that on tonight. So just to kind of kick things off, I kind of asked this question because I didn't want to just throw you a curveball here, but I'm going to ask it again so you guys know. So just kind of start things, break the ice a little bit. Discussion question of tonight is, what is your biggest toy letdown of either 2023, the end of 23, or the beginning of 2024? And I'll start. So I was super excited. I'm a big NECA fan, big horror NECA fan. Always been. Still, that's my bread and butter. I love NECA. I was super, super excited for the Thing monster, the dog creature, when it was supposed to come out, right? I was super excited when they announced it. I was like pumped about it. I couldn't wait to have it. I couldn't wait to take photos of it. Then I get it. I actually bought it during Legion's Con. So I actually bought it at Chubsy Wubsy. Shout out to Chubsy Wubsy store. Go hit him up. Go check out his store. It's an amazing store. I ended up purchasing it from there. Ended up opening it, brought it home, opened it, playing around with it. And it frustrates the hell out of me. It frustrates the hell out of me. I'm going to say the sculpt and the paintwork is beautiful, because NECA is very consistent when it comes to sculpt and paintwork. They do a really good job. I mean, not all are great. There are some hit and misses, but they are consistently good when it comes to sculpt and paint. And this one doesn't, shy away from that. But those damn tentacles, little things you had to like pour inside that dog are a pain in the freaking ass. I've tried to freaking use the blow dryer. I try to heat them up, put them in water, and like I've tried to like put them in. Took one photo of them, one photo of the figure, and then put it aside. Then I tried to attempt to take another photo of the figure. Had to heat up the little tentacle things again. Boom! One of my little peg things pops and breaks.
Oh shit.
Biggest letdown, biggest like, and not to say anything bad about NECA, because again, but it's also okay to say, express my frustration of
100%.
something like that, right? Because I'm the one that purchased this motherfucking toy, right? So
that was
your money.
It was my money. So, and I was super excited for it, and unfortunately, like I said, it broke, and just even with just on top of that, the frustration of trying to put those little things on and just trying to be gentle, but then you have to force them in, and then it breaks, and then you're like, you know what? I should have just not bought this. But I am happy that I own it, but I am very frustrated, and I felt like there should have been a better system, or maybe like I don't know, something different. But hopefully, better peg system. But that was my biggest letdown of 2023. I'm gonna say that's my biggest letdown. Now, Dave, Black Pear Studios, what is your biggest letdown of either 2023 or 2024?
I gotta say the Venom from Amazing Yamaguchi. Dude, the skull's beautiful, man. Like I fell in love with it when I saw it. It looks awesome. But like they say, like that toy line, you got to be patient with the articulation of it. And to swap out stuff, man, it's tough sometimes. Like I always have to have like a hot water cup with me, just so I can like change the hands and stuff and whatever. So I was playing around with it. I was trying to pose it, and it's like top heavy. It falls over.
Yeah.
The head comes off easily. Then it's like weird clicks, and it gets me a little nervous. Whatever. And then I'm trying to move the leg a certain way. And then I end up breaking one of the legs. I'm like, fuck, like whatever. So I try fixing it with like super glue, but I put too much, and now it's on my fingers, and now it's like stuck to the figure.
Damn.
and like,
It just becomes a mess.
Dude,
now it's your handheld all forever now.
Oh my god! So like it's stuck with like there's like paint, like you feel like just rip the paint off, and it just frustrated the hell out of me, man. But go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, so like I actually called or I messaged Big Bad Toy Store, and I gotta say their customer service is pretty legit for me so far.
Yeah.
And they gave me like $100 credit refund for it because it came broken out the box pretty much.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that was nice of them. But yeah, that's probably the biggest disappointment.
That was gonna be my next question. Like, what was the price point on that figure? Because I know the Thing monster was about
those
$60.
They're not cheap.
They're not. They're like 100 plus. Like
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
so I could only imagine. But I'm glad it worked out and they were able to, give you something to kind of just make up for it being broken. So
Yeah, I appreciate that.
you hear that, NECA? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I love NECA. Wow, what is your biggest letdown of either 2023 or 2024, dude?
I think so far for 2024, we're just wrapping up January, so it's too early to tell. We got time to get disappointed. So looking forward to that shit. But I think overall last year, based on expectations, based on what we have come to expect as far as releases and waiting on shit too. I think biggest one was the Bartholomew Vex from 112. Like it turned like they had, they had an opportunity to make a really cool figure, but just did them dirty, man. They just did the Dark Prince very, very dirty.
Is that
Like
that's the Go Ahead guy?
yeah, man. Like we saw him, he was teased for over a year. Everybody was getting excited. It was gonna be Rumble Baphomet basically. And then he comes out and he's wearing like pirate shoes and like his socks are attached to their shorts. It looked like it's just overall just dumb.
Yeah.
So that
George
was definitely
Washington
a big
at a black
letdown.
masquerade.
Right, yeah, exactly. It was some what was it? The goddamn oak what is the where the Illuminati go and like jerk each other off with the owl statues. I can't remember what it's called now. Some Bohemian Grove. Like some Bohemian Grove shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
No, that was actually the figure we were on. Me and Unworthy were on Unboxing Arts state of the art episode, and I said that the sculpt with the smiling sculpt reminded me of like the Lion King 2 when the Scar son was being cast out and that goat was singing Deception. I was like, that's that fucking goat or that whatever antelope, whatever the hell that is. But
yeah, it was supposed to be like screaming or some shit. It just looked like he was doing bad type shit. Like, fuck off with that.
They gave you a screaming goat.
Right.
Oh man. Ravens Eye. Ravens Eye, what was your biggest letdown of 2023 or 2024?
Well, I kind of got two. One's a NECA.
Oh.
Now that we're speaking of broken ones like coming out of the box.
Yeah.
And I was so disappointed because I love Elvira. And as soon as I pulled her out of the box, like pulling her out of the box, her damn like right where the mid joint is.
Yeah.
Peg broke.
No.
So I had to perform a little surgery, had to get her naked because I didn't want to mess up her clothes.
Well, of course, yeah.
But yeah, no, that was.
I mean, I didn't even break my Elvira, and I had to get her naked as soon as I had it.
Just had to see. No, so it was kind of a pain in the ass, like gluing it, not messing it up, so she could have some little bit of articulation or something.
Yeah.
But and then the other one, I seen all the great pictures of that Diamond Select blade, and I should have known because it's Diamond Select. But the articulation on that thing is just bad.
Yeah,
just
Diamond
so
Select doesn't
bad.
really have like too much articulation like that.
But he looked a lot better than the ones I had before. I'm like, okay, so they're improving. Good.
Yeah.
Let's go forward and check it out. And nah, I can't get him to hit those poses because those arms and elbows just don't bend the way they need to.
Yeah.
So
damn.
But yeah.
Unworthy, biggest letdown of 2023 or 24 for you?
You know, I was going to immediately throw Pennywise, the Pennywise Mezco. I was going to throw that out.
I thought you were going to say that.
But, you know, your bravery, Danny, going against the grain and blaming NECA for your worst purchase, it's inspired me. And I'm going to be honest. I was very, very disappointed with a McFarlane purchase this year.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
It was actually it was multiple purchases because what I was disappointed in was the Cyborg Build-A-Figure from the Flashpoint. Because because you had to get Aquaman, and the Aquaman was trash. I didn't want it anyways. So
This
I'm not going to
Aquaman.
complain about that. Yeah, the screaming O-face stuff.
The blow up.
Like, I waited for it to go on. I waited for him to go on clearance, and I think I picked him up for like $6 at Target. But and then I immediately ripped him apart for customs and like kit bashing and shit. But then you had to get Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman wasn't all that great. I mean, it was okay. Flash was really good from that way.
Yeah.
Project Superman, I could care less. I ended up using him for a custom as well. But the Build-A-Figure itself, it's just the proportions of it are terrible. He's big and clunky, and his head is super, super tiny compared to how massive his torso is. But then his torso is undersized in comparison to how long his legs are. Because like if you take those when I got the legs, I think the legs came with the Project Superman. The legs for that Build-A-Figure were as tall as the Project Superman. They were as tall as the single figure. But then the torso was not the same. Like it wasn't proportioned the same. Like the torso was not.
So covered, Dad.
The torso wasn't gigantic, and then the arms were kind of too small, but the head was super tiny. Once I got them together, I was like, well, I'm glad I got most of these. The Flash is the only one I paid full price for. I bought the rest of them on clearance. So.
I and just to kind of, for anybody that's either started watching the show, like there's nothing against, like if you disagree with me and you like the Creature Dog or you like the McFarlane or any of the figures that we mentioned, we're not knocking them. I'm really happy that you enjoyed them, but it's okay sometimes to say that, hey, listen, I was really disappointed with this figure because, there's a lot of like, and that's not the only one. There are plenty. Like when I first got when they first dropped the Back to the Futures wave, I was so pumped for that. Back to the Future is like one of my it's like a pastime in my house. We have to watch Back to the Future. Like the minute my kids were born, I looked at my kids, I held my kids, and I said, you know what? Before you go to
Marty McFly,
you have to know who Marty McFly is. You got to know what a flux capacitor is. You need to know this stuff in life.
You need to know how many gigawatts you need to be going.
So I was super pumped with that line, man. And then when the line came out, it was just like a big letdown, man. And the biggest letdown for me, and just to kind of like a memorable mention for me, was the DeLorean. It was too small. It didn't scale well with the and it kind of frustrated me because it's like, damn, you had NECA made the party wagon for the turtles so big where you could scale with the turtles, and I'm like, damn, why we couldn't just get a DeLorean with some lights? But again, maybe it was just the time. But I also, yesterday's episode, Blaine kind of explained, like, they want to, when they make things like these, they really got to like know, like figure out what the price point is where it's like fair to people, but also, they're making money out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because the more money they make, the more toys they're able to make. So that's kind of fair. So, but definitely nothing against, like I said, anybody that likes all the toys that we've mentioned, that it's like, maybe it's your favorite toy. We're sorry, but that's just the way we.
But I would even say to that too is like, you should appreciate like those negative like reviews on it, because then you could really argue against it, and if you still want it, then you get it no matter. Because now you're hearing the negative. I'm like, man, the pros outweigh the cons of it. I'm still gonna get it. Kind of like that Venom figure where it's like, I've seen the reviews on it. I kind of knew what to expect, but I'm like, but he's just so damn cool. I'm gonna get him anyway. Whatever.
Yeah. No, absolutely, and that's across the board. It's not just one toy company. It's across the board. You hear it on Hot Toys. Hot Toys, they're like high-end toys. And like when I was purchasing the Spider-Man Homecoming, I was watching the reviews, Shartimus Prime reviews, and you couldn't even put him in a dynamic pose because the material was stretching, and like the paint was fading. And I'm like, okay, I have a Spider-Man who I'm going to just pose like this the whole time. And I can't put him in a Spider-Man pose. That's frustrating. You know what I'm saying?
Especially how much they cost.
Right. Exactly. Right. You know how much Infamil I could buy with that? That's a lot of Infamil.
And so Danny's being apologetic here. He's saying, like, I'm sorry if you don't like that. I didn't like that. Please don't be mad at me. And what I have to say to that is, fuck that. You're entitled to your opinion. You spent your money on that toy. And if you're unhappy with it, then you're unhappy with it. You shouldn't have to apologize.
Thank you, honey.
That was true. And it used to be It used to be a lot easier in some cases. Whenever Marvel Legend was like $20, or you buy it at Target for 15 because there was a coupon on Circle or whatever, and then you open it and it's trash, and you're like, ah, fuck it, $15. It wasn't that bad. Like I can deal with this, or I'll throw it in the fodder bin. But now even a Marvel Legend or a McFarlane, they're going at 30, and you're like, it's not even a matter of the difference between 20 and 30 being really immaterial at that point. It's more of they want to charge that much, so they're thinking their product is worth $30, and it's trash sometimes. So you're like, fuck you. So I don't want to buy it, right?
Especially when they don't change the design and make it and listen to the customers and say, "Hey, if you do this, it'll be better, and then it'll be worth it."
Right.
They don't
like how long we gotta wait on double jointed elbows? Like shit.
Yeah. I agree.
And wired capes like across the board. You can't tell me that.
Right.
You can't tell me that
rubber,
even if it's
man.
not wired, even if it's just a fabric cape that's not wired, you can't tell me that's more expensive than this gigantic hunk of rubber that you're putting on every single
Absolutely.
figure.
I know you guys.
I could go to Walmart right now. I could go to
Walmart
just
right
recycle
now
old
and
shirts. I could buy a big section of fabric at Walmart right now and make a cape for every single figure I have, even ones that don't wear
100%.
capes. And it won't cost me but maybe $15 for the fabric, and then whatever time and how much frustration it's going to be for me to make it, because like you can't make anything but bad decisions.
Yeah.
Well, and you can go to like Max Bird. They, you know, they make capes for DC, Mythics, everything.
Yeah.
And they're decently priced, you know, for a basic.
They're not terribly
like
priced,
$15-$20, you know, for those the Raven one I got for my Raven spawn. That thing is badass. Came with a metal hook.
What's that site again?
Hook blades.
What's the site called? What's the site called or the page called?
Max Bird, Night Forge.
Okay, I gotta check them out.
Yeah, and you know, the quality that you get for like, you know, $20-$30 on their stuff, you know, tops anything that they put out with the regular figures. It makes it look so much more badass.
And on some of them, they give you like a really cool set, like all together. Like I got Ilithia and Basilia ones, where it was like 4 to 6 pieces each. And you just replace all sorts of rubber shit.
And if it costs too much money, you have loose shirts that you don't wear. Just cut up some shirts.
Cut up some shirts. Learn how to
grab up some shirts.
Good.
I started cutting up the ones that have like yellow stains on. I'm like, well, the bottom doesn't have the stains. I can use that.
You'll get a Superman shirt that says Target in the back of it, or it'll say Chili's. Chili's associate.
You just see it through the dye. It just has the mark.
Oh man, the chat's booming. So we got a couple of people. We got KJ Smith. I think you probably he said must be invisible.
What up, KJ?
Yeah,
KJ, my man.
You're not invisible.
You're not invisible, never. I'm invisible. You reminded me of that every day. I would never forget.
Yeah. You just don't know who you are, is all.
Glad I didn't. She had Target the other day. Yeah. Oh, you should probably talk about the. Are you talking about the dog creature? It's it's a nice looking figure. It's frustrating as hell to put those like tentacles on them. Like it's just frustrating. Vico says it's your money. Use it when you need to. 877
That's right.
That's right. Shoot says, "What's up? Shoot, what's going on, buddy?" Rabbit's Den says, "Gotta use some water-based poly, whatever, aka Kiki." Oh, Kiki, yeah, Kiki for Rebel Text. Everybody talks about that Kiki. Any one of you guys ever use Kiki on any of your figures?
I thought you were saying kinky, and I was like, I already told you I got kinky with that fucking Elvira figure.
Any of you guys I actually use that. Yeah, that does help. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like a liquid, like thing you place into it.
Yeah.
Is that the same stuff that they say you should put on your like the fabric on the Mezcos so that the fabric doesn't? They're super suits, so it doesn't crack.
I think it's
no.
That one was a spray, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
The keys is more like to fix the joints, kind of like how they were doing like Pledge floor cleaner back in the day to tighten joints on SH and on Legends and stuff too. And to fix the Revel Tech for yours, go on AliExpress and order a Batman Revel Tech. It's a piece of shit toy, but because bootleg as fuck. But the problem was even before that was the Revoltech Batman had like a crazy cape with like 78,000 points of articulation.
Yeah.
So you can harvest out of it like 30 Revoltech joints for like $15.
Damn.
So
That's smart.
yeah,
That is
and
smart.
then you can fix anytime shit like that breaks.
Damn, I never thought about that. That's smart. I get like a bootleg for like pegs that have broken the figures.
The
and just
Batman
replace
one
them.
is perfect because it has so many of them.
Why'd you guys?
They're like different sizes because
Yeah.
of the cape of how fucking insane it was. It's out of control.
You
How do you
understand
guys
how
feel
much
about that Hush Batman cape? How do you guys feel about that?
the Mafex? The
Yeah, the
Mafex?
Mafex. Yeah, the Mafex. The big.
I had that figure and I ended up selling that figure, but I watched a lot of reviews. It was real bulky. It's a real bulky cape. Kind of like the Cyborg Superman, where it's like it's a nice cape, but it like bunches up so much on the shoulder part where it's like really high. You have to like press down on it. I mean, it's not as bad. I mean, it's a real big cape for that figure.
Yeah,
Like,
it was too much for me. I sold it too.
Yeah, I think when they designed it, it bunches up like that because it's like they mean it for that big, the cape way up, like he's gliding down. Like with that pose, when you have the cape up like that, you don't see all that bunching. But anything where it's lower, it bunches up like crazy.
I think my newest favorite cape technology or cape design is Dr. Doom from Mezco. Okay. Although the figure is like crazy hindered with articulation, it's a nice looking figure, but they magnetized the bit here, so it just snaps onto his chest, and then
that looks good.
That way, it doesn't take up any room. Like I was saying, and then it's a separate piece from the hood. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So I think if they follow with that shit more often, we'd get less hindrance in the shoulders. It'll just flow.
Ro Collect says my biggest letdown was Mezco Death Adder with those damn pouches. Okay.
Yeah, dude, Death Adder had a shit ton of pouches and they're irritating as hell to put on.
That man, it says the socks are pretty lame, but I still love that figure. He's talking about the Bartholomew.
Yeah.
Dix Fig says TW Toys Chainsaw Man was the worst.
Oh.
The hands, that was a problem for me too. I sold that figure just recently.
Toyota Unlimited says mine was McFarlane Sinestro. That's a jab.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
That's a jab.
That was the best figure of the year. Don't make me fucking. I'll cancel this show. God damn it.
Hey man, I need a job. All right, come on. Chu says Diamond Select Blade was trash. He agrees. And then Diggs Fez says, "Come on, Aquaman DC's bill." Hey, you're right. You're right.
He does have the face.
Cobra Dad showing love. The whole face. It says biggest letdown for me was SH Guts. Okay,
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, that one the shit couldn't even carry the sword on KJ's when he got it. I think the wrist broke.
Rabbit's Den says, hoping the Tommy Kickstarter DeLorean delivers as far as a good DeLorean and scales the NECA. Oh, yeah, I saw that, man. I wanted to kind of like jump on that Kickstarter, but I didn't. But now I'm kind of like regretting it because it's like, I know that thing is going to be like super dope, man. And I'm like, shit, NECA, come on. Revamp the whole line. Give us a DeLorean.
If we're lucky, we'll get a Ramen Toys DeLorean.
Okay.
Like Ramen Toys seems to not give a shit about copyrights and who holds a license to anything. Because like when the HasLab Ghost Rider project failed, Ramen Toys is like, oh okay, yeah, we'll do it, and we'll give you a Ghost Rider head. Like we don't even give shit.
Chu says screw the kids, get the toys. No Chewin says just use Kiki to fix up your Rebel Flash. I just used to kick his flag, because he just bought the Rebel Tech Flash, which is freaking amazing. I love that figure. I was able to like.
Yeah, I was messing around with Machus at Legion's Con, and like I heard everybody talking about how they are easy to break. As soon as Machu handed it to me, I was like, oh my god, I don't think I should have this in my hands.
They've changed a lot of like the articulation on those. I used to have the Wolverine and the Cable, but I was the Wolverine was the only one I was able to open. So the arms would fall off really easy on those. But like they've changed a lot of like the articulation. It's just kind of like hiding the joints a little more. because you have to like to own a Rebel Tech, you got to know how to pose.
Yeah.
Or you got to have patience to want to pose a figure, because there are times where like I try to even do like that whole like crunch down Wolverine, and then you see that big ass testicle ball joint popping from the side. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sell this. I'm gonna get rid of it.
Yeah, the Wolverine one had a really wild scheme for the articulation. It was weird as hell.
KJ says my favorite cape is Kickstarter Spawn. Yeah, that thing is dope. And he says, grab the Hot Toys. Hey, you know, I wanted that one too, but you know what? I got a lot of damn kids, man. Infamil, man. Infamil. Well, I'm super happy that, see, this is why I love discussion questions, because they kind of get us going, talking toys, and that's what we all like just kind of come from. Like, we all started as collectors. We moved on to like doing toy photography, and then now we're doing shows or doing features and all that. So perfect segue. You guys, all three of you guys have a YouTube, IG page and an IG show, which you guys basically showcase. You guys talk toys, but you guys also showcase toy photographers and people in the community. So just to kind of start off, and I'm just gonna go one by one. Dave, Pear Studios, tell me a little bit about yourself, man, for people that don't know you and don't know who you are. So just a little bit about yourself, dude.
Yeah, man. I started this page maybe 2 years ago. Pretty much, I did photography when I was younger and did a couple of jobs and did nightclubs and stuff and portraits and all that. That took a back burner. I started raising my family pretty young, and then pretty much started working remote during COVID. And my daughters started to, they gave me a figure, Dragon Ball, Dragon Star Boo figure. And that just got me started with collecting and photography again from home. And yeah, one thing led to another. And came across this community, and people seemed pretty nice and cool. And they were helpful with certain things. And I came across like Sir Dork's videos on YouTube, which a lot of us have. And dude, like, I just wanted to really talk to people again. And, I got on Grown Ass Men Toys at one point, and I kind of liked that whole live feature thing. I'm like, you know what, maybe I can do this myself, because nobody's reaching out to me. I'm just starting off, and I get it. Like, nobody really knows me. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to reach out to them. So I started like asking people to come on, like people that I like their work, or I like how nice they are. Like, they'll comment on my stuff, and like, yeah. And one thing led to another, and just started doing lives with a couple people, and learned a lot from everybody. And you know, so I appreciate, you know, the time and effort that people put into it, because I'm the same with certain things, and I can see when people really care about this hobby, and you know, I want to appreciate their work, and just talk to them and say what's up, you know.
That's awesome. And can I say that and I'm glad that you're on today, because can I say that besides like EC Toy Picks, because EC Toy Picks, he's a fairly new account, but he's been like his shots has been like improving so much. He's been doing so good, and his biggest things, like, he shines when he does like the dinosaurs and the kaijus. So I've been on this kaiju thing, right? Because I'm a big horror guy. I like to showcase the horror movie monsters, but now I've been on this, like, I want to showcase some of these kaiju monsters, because monsters are monsters. And let me tell you, your Godzilla photos have been so inspiring, and like I've purchased a lot of kaiju so far, because again, you just like and that's the beautiful thing about this community, right? Where it's like everybody's styles are so different, but like you gain so much like inspiration from somebody's work and what somebody does, right? Like that kind of like it's like another rabbit hole, right? Because when I saw that, when you had the one the photo with Godzilla standing over like the fire, but then you also posted the one where it's like intimidation. I'm like, fuck, man, I need more Godzillas. I need to buy some more Godzillas. I'm pumped. Like, it motivated me to like want to like purchase and showcase more of the kaiju. And now also too, because -1 is a phenomenal movie. If you haven't watched, anybody has not watched Godzilla -1, phenomenal movie. It's nominated for an Oscar now or whatever. And then we got the new Godzilla movie coming out pretty soon in March. So this is a perfect time to you know, get into the kaiju and the Godzilla, if you could find some, because now they've been like, because they know the movies are out, they've been flying off the shelves. But definitely, and also too, like as far as like just catching some of your episodes, like you're very like, I see like you take the time to like study who you have as a guest and just get to know them and stuff like that. I appreciate that. That definitely goes a long way. Vile.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying like that's I think one of the things that get people on with me is just they know that I'm a fan, or like that I appreciate their their friendship, and I really take an interest in their stuff, and then we just talk about it. And, it's just one thing we need to really support each other in that way, because sometimes you'll come across people like just a little bit just more about the likes and all that, and it can get slippery, man. So you gotta appreciate the hobby for what it is, and everybody's stressed about that before,
Absolutely.
but man,
Absolutely,
I don't care.
absolutely.
I put it out for me and nobody else.
That's it, man. Vi, I was gonna ask you about yourself, but I think KJ Smith kind of did it. Vi likes like long walks in the bees. Also enjoys birds watching. Speaking,
birds aren't real now.
Beautiful,
yep,
beautiful.
But gentlemen, I'm sorry to interrupt, man. Dude, I actually have to hop off now, dude.
Okay.
I apologize, man. But dude, it was an
honor.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
No
thank you for having me on.
Thank
man.
you. Thank you for having. Thank you for coming on. Damn, absolutely, man. And we'll definitely catch on. If nobody's following Black Pear Studios, go give him a follow right now. Go check out his past episodes, man. And dude, hope to have you on again one day. Just kind of get to know you a little more, man. Thank you for coming on.
I appreciate you guys.
All right,
have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
You as well. Have a good one. So, Vile, tell us a little bit about yourself, dude. What got you started in this plastic hobby, plastic cult?
Oh shit! Well, like getting into the hobby, I've been a collector forever. Like maybe took a small break, teenager, young adult type shit when women and doing other outside activities took a priority for a minute, right? But then I think it came back to this. A coworker dropped at my desk at work one day Pizza Spider-Man, the Marvel Legends. So and because of that shit, I've now gone back into it hard, and many hundreds or thousands of toys later, here we go. It's out of hand. So that addiction came back quick. So and during I think during COVID, we were chatting a lot all the time. Group chats. We had different group chats, and everybody in each hobby, and we've gotten to the point where we were buying enough shit that started developing informed opinions accidentally. So that's what Highly Posable came out of. It's a weekly hangout. We love toys, right? We're all in the community. We're all collecting and spending this money, but with it comes, I think, responsibility, which is to be honest about what shit is.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Selling out to a figure company or a line just because we love it.
You don't need to be a shill, except for I act like a shill sometimes. I know.
Like you want to give me free shit, sure, but like we're still gonna be honest with it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, so we have fun with that, and like we're all of us. It's me, myself, KJ Smith, and our buddy Steam Powered Mom. We do the show. Through it, we've met a lot of people through the community and created these relationships, like the Hoodcast crew, you guys, right, Cobra Dad. We have Pablo and 78 Points of Articulation, meeting great people in the community and kind of getting everybody on and doing a weekly hangout and getting everybody in the chat involved. Kind of something to look forward to throughout the slog of the goddamn work week. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Right. And like I said, we're spending the money. We're adults now, so we should be able to talk about it in a I guess constructive way. So we like to talk shit about toys.
And also too, I think these companies I think these companies generally appreciate when they hear like feedback. Because whether it's hard to hear, because even like with like toy photography, like right, like I started like featuring, I started like tagging my photos to this channel where they kind of like critique a little bit, right? And one of the things that I told myself was like, well, if I can't be so like unrealistic, like I got to be open-minded and see where areas I can improve. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I want to do. But it's okay to hear like critique, right? Like what I'm saying, the reason I'm saying that is because there's times where I feel that maybe some of these toy companies feel the same way, where when they hear like, because believe it or not, like we make jokes about, well, if they ever watch this show or if they ever see this picture or ever see this caption, they kind of do. They kind of like, there's no reason why, there's no way in hell like a company like Hasbro, NECA, Four Horsemen, they don't see their photos of their product and don't take the time to like check out the caption. They might not like it, like they may not actually like your photo or comment or feature you, but they, you know, I feel like they take the time to kind of see like, hey, you know, this is because they have to like, there's always like room for improvement, right? So there's always ways for them to. That's the only way they're gonna get better. That's the only way they're gonna keep people around, right? So they gotta make those improvements.
Free market research.
No, absolutely. And that's exactly what we do weekly.
And a lot of us are becoming more of, instead of just a buyer, where we're just buying their shit, putting it on a shelf, and in some cases not opening the goddamn thing. We're opening it day one, tearing it apart and drilling into it and dyeing it and painting it different colors. Like in a lot of cases on our show, we show it when we get a brand new figure and we already took it apart before you even looked at the fucking thing. You're like, this is neat, but I wanted kind of just the body. So you just take all the other shit off, and you're like,
I agree. I'm a little full of it. But like even now, like you're going back to like just saying how these companies pay attention. Like I always make the joke, like McFarlane's been popping out a lot of like black and white with like an addition color, right? I had this whole collab with Black and Wednesdays adding an addition color. So I always make the joke like, you were watching my collab. You stole my idea, but I could never. I live in a realistic world where I'm not gonna like reach out and DM McFarlane Toys or Todd McFarlane and say, hey asshole, I know you've been watching. No, maybe he thought of it. Maybe he just thought of it, and it's awesome. Like it's the fact that it's kind of flattering when people like that are around my circle are like, hey Dan, ain't this like Black and Wednesday? I'm like, yeah, it's similar, but he probably thought of that. Like he probably wasn't even paying attention to anything we were doing. But it's kind of flattering, but it's, you know, it's kind of the running joke that I got. But I agree. Like I think, you know, we definitely take the time to like open these figures. We like modify these figures sometimes. And like I just feel like sometimes they do watch like a lot of the customizers, right? Even the dial makers, right? I know they watch these dial makers. We got so many fantastic dial makers in this community. There's 100%. No way in hell these like toy makers and toy like companies are not seeing this, like to the point where they're like, whoa, damn, like maybe we should start doing that, or maybe we should start making figures that kind of work with these dials that people are making, like with these foam boards. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think even the baby steps are happening right now, where they're getting their head out of their ass as companies, and they're like, hey, if we can't do something like this, let's contact this person who's already doing this. You know, how many companies now have contacted people like CJ from CJism? And they're like, hey, you have this shit down. Can you just design the proofs for us? And then we'll send it to the factory. So there are fans in the community that have been doing this shit long enough that perhaps their opinion is a little bit more valuable than the asshole who's just a target, you know, and buying something and been like, the paint is off.
No, I get it. I agree.
And I think it cuts the time short between where we are now to where we'll get, you know, more things that are at affordable price, like the NECA street dial. Like how nice would it be to have more $100 street dials or things of that size?
No, absolutely, I agree. And that street dial was like again, like I always go back to like, and all respect to my generation and the toys we had in our time, because those toys were great. I was never thinking about articulation and stuff like that. Nobody was thinking about stuff like that. It's just like movies. We were never thinking about like Rotten Tomatoes, how good a movie was. Like fuck it. I thought Mortal Kombat Annihilation was the greatest video game movie ever made. And to this day, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stick by it because I was, you weren't thinking like that.
Not Mario Brothers with John Leguizamo.
That was good too. I really like a Latino Luigi. Like, come on now, like what? Like I was like John Leguizamo. Hell yeah. No, but I agree 100%. Like I think they see what we do, or they are watching us. It's just because they don't necessarily like make it known that they're doing it. I mean, they do features and they do likes, but because they don't make it known and they don't DM you, it's not like they are watching it. They are watching what we're doing. But and then we got Go Figure Girl. What's up, dude? Welcome. We're never too late, dude. Never too late. Ravens Eye, you're a fairly new page. You're first of all, awesome guy. Fairly new page. Started toy photography. You had this idea. You wanted to come up with this page to kind of feature toy photography and all this stuff. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. We know you, but we don't want to assume that anybody else knows you. So we want you to kind of like introduce yourself to the community, man.
Oh, not much really to tell. I'm retired military, father of 4. Had toys around me, damn near my whole life. Got kids that always beg for new toys and stuff like that. So kind of started stealing their stuff when I don't know. I got hurt, got in a bad place, decided, hey, I need to do something to get out of it. Saw, Sir Dork stuff, and I was like, let me try it. So I found a camera, started taking pictures of my kids' toys, and then bought 1 or 2 of my own. And then that turned into a whole wall full.
Yeah.
I started doing, I got some Funko Pops for Christmas for my kids, like Vader ones and Venom ones, and started doing stuff with them. Always had Godzilla, so I did, beginning stuff with them. And then it just progressed. I started jumping in collabs, Unworthy, Dead Man, First Strike Figs, all you guys doing those collabs for like Halloween. That was my first big, kind of introduction into actually trying to do something besides.
I think that was my first interaction with you. Was the first year of Hecktober before we did it.
Yep, and big horror fan. Always loved horror movies. Raised my kids on them, which is probably not the best thing to say for a parent, but hey, it happens.
Good job, Dad.
You're a good dad. Don't let anybody tell you any different.
Tell you wrong.
But no, I look at my kids for inspiration. They come in here and they'll come in and say, Dad, that's crap. Do this, and I'm like, well, you don't know what you're. Oh, hell, you do. Damn it. So I take their ideas and I put them to work.
That's awesome.
And then just pushing through the community and getting so much support from so many people. Toy Merch, Dead Man, Blitz, everybody over at the Lazy Boys, Thor, AB, Green, all those guys. It's the community is kind of brought back what I thought I'd lost.
Yeah.
So I figured it's time to turn around and do what I can do to push people like I got pushed.
Yeah.
So I started up Ravens Roost. It's slow going because I'm only one part of it. But I'm also learning a lot of stuff. I'm learning video editing, all that stuff, and getting that together. Doing these features has kind of taught me a lot. I'm going to start probably a YouTube page next month.
Nice.
It's not going to be interviews yet because I still suck at those.
Don't I? I do also, so don't worry about it.
But no,
my co-host can't hold an interview for nothing.
I can't hold shit. I can't do that.
But no, I'm going to MegaCon this Sunday.
Oh, awesome!
I want to try. I want to do like walkthroughs. I want to go.
Yeah.
I want to put out there, see what everybody wants to see. I'll try to get as much video as I can. I want to meet up with the Mythic Legions guys. Slap Happy Toys. I've been like promoting his stuff over there because he's pretty awesome dude. He's got a bunch of stuff out there, and hopefully I'll be able to meet up, with a few people from the community that, we talk to on here. We throw likes and shares back and forth. It'd be kind of nice to actually meet the people.
Yeah.
And that way, and I kind of want to push with that page.
Yeah.
Now the community is, like you guys always say, it's like it can be a second family. It'll be there for your, your rough times, your good times, celebrating you, helping you, whatever. And that's what I got from it. So I kind of want to push that back out and get those people that are kind of reluctant or had shitty interactions with people, to get them back on the positive side and get them motivated to say, well, you know what? It's not, it doesn't look like a good picture, but I like it. Throw it out there. I'll put it up. I'll share it out and see where you go from there. Just watch you grow.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
One thing that I do want to point out with about Ravens Eye Studio here is there's a lot of people on Instagram that do the toy photography that they, people pump out pictures like all day, multiple pictures all day, picture. And Ravens Eye and Danger Room Toy Photography, they're the only two that I can say they pump out pictures, multiple pictures a day. And they are all good. Every picture that they do is a very good picture each time, no matter how many they do a day. There's people who pump them out and it's like 6-7 pictures a day. And it's like, well, you probably could have just stuck to the one good one rather than all of these, I won't name any of those names, but it always amazes me because we get, like Ravens Eye and there's some other people that on I have them flagged or whatever on my account. So like if I'm on and you post something, it gives me a notification that says Ravens Eye just posted this. So it's like I'll see those every time. I'll see them pop up. And I'm like, man, banger after banger after banger.
And that's
you've come a long way too, because like not to say that your earlier stuff wasn't good, but like
it wasn't.
It's like it's you could tell you put a lot of work into making your shots better, but also like you've been so perceptive or so receptive to any kind of critique that anybody's given you or any advice people have given you, and like you've really honed in on a style that I think is your own.
And it's never taken. One of the things that I will say, and from my experience with you, is like you never take things out of like offense, right? Like if it's a critique or it's like an advice, you never take it out of offense. You take it with like, open mind. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Because that's
I think
the way
I think he meant to say tongue in cheek. I just don't think he could think of what he's saying.
But I
got you.
One of the things I was gonna say too is that you brought up and you guys both pretty much brought this up. And I hear this a lot. I always tell people, if you're in this community and you're liking photos and you're promoting photos, and that's the only thing that you're doing, you have not really experienced what this community is all about. If you have not sat and had a human being conversation with someone, talk to somebody about like life things, like a bunch of us are dads. Right, me and O'Worthy, we talk dad things. We don't talk toys all the time. There's times where we have conversations about being dads or work or just
spraying testicles,
like shit like that. Like if you haven't experienced, if you guys, for anybody that's watching, if you have not experienced something like that, you have not really experienced the key thing that this community brings, right? And that's that family kind of oriented type thing, right? Where I don't have to see you. Like Legion's Con was the first time in like 3 years, close to 4 years, that I've seen Unworthy in person. I met him in person. And one of the questions that I was asked was, did it feel awkward when you guys were in the car? Did it feel awkward just to see him? And so I was like, no, we literally picked off where we left off, because again, it goes to show you
jumped in his car. I was like, why are you so late? Why did I have to fucking wait out here outside the airport for so long?
It was like, I'm sorry, honey, I had to stop at Dunkin'. I had to get a coffee.
You knew what goddamn time my plane was coming in. Where the
hell? No, but what I'm saying is that it goes to show you that like you could build these relationships, right? And it starts off at something as harmless, as innocent as like toy collecting, music. It could be dial making. It could be anything, right? It's cosplaying. It could be whatever it is, right? And like it becomes something so much more than what it is, right? And again, I challenge people, and this is kind of a challenge for people. They are you in this community for photos, or are you really in this community to kind of build relationships? And that's okay if you don't want to like get to know people or get to know what they do. That's okay too, because you don't have to. But if you actually took the time to like learn, like I've met people from like different countries and like learned about like the way they live, and like I've even been taught like certain type of languages. Like I've even like people are even trying to teach me like certain languages. It's fucking I can never like I never learn. Like it never happens. But it's a beautiful thing, like to actually like get to know people and like learn how. Oh, you just got this NECA. Yeah, this NECA's like over here. Some toys over here are like 3 years old, and they're just getting it at their wherever country they're from. They're just getting it. So to them, it's new. It's like, oh, this is the newest thing. So when people see some of the reels, sometimes it's funny because sometimes now it's crazy because now I see these toy community guys or even dial guys or whatever, and they'll make a reel or take a photo of a figure that's like it's been out for like 2 years, and you're like, okay, that's it. But to them, it's like, yo, this shit just showed up. This is like the dopest shit ever. Like we ain't even like I haven't even like, and they're like, wait, how the hell did you get? Even vice versa. There's places that they got stuff that we haven't even received yet, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So, but like, let's just kind of piggyback to what you guys were saying. Like, you know, it's like taking the time to like kind of like express your frustrations, like being able to express your frustrations on a toy and say, hey, I don't like the articulation on this. I don't like this and that. And like being able to have that debate with somebody like, well, hey, I like this. Well, I didn't like this. And you know what I'm saying? Having a mutual respect, but also too, like Raven, like you said, like just having this community and family oriented thing where like some of us, like, again, a lot of us go through I blame whoever the fuck was on my live earlier because they call me preacher Danny or some bullshit. I blame you because I'm trying to preach. No, it's nice that like we get to like experience like not just toys and like get to experience like the people behind the camera, people behind the collection, people behind like, you know, you get to learn so much from like so many people, and like, you know, you get your bad eggs and that's okay, but then you get those awesome ones.
Well,
right?
that's actually a perfect segue for what I wanted to ask. You know, we've been talking about the positivity in the community, the love of spreading the love of spreading the love,
enabling,
enabling. You know, there's all these awesome things that we talk about in the community, but I think we would be remiss if we didn't also acknowledge that there is some negatives, some glaring negatives within the community. There's a lot of toxicity in the collecting community. With not just between photographers thinking that their stuff's better than one person's thing, or this toy line is better than another toy line, but there's a lot of toxicity that goes along with this community too. And I feel like all four of us here and Black Pear as well, I think we all have found a pretty good system in pushing away that negativity and not letting it bring us down. But I think we should still include it. So one of the things I wanted to ask you guys is, what is something in the community that is a negative or a toxic thing that happens in this community that you wish would just go away? That you wish that everybody could just get over?
The biggest thing I see is kind of like how you put out there. I think you said it, Val, or Black Pear said, the ones that come out there just for the likes. And just hey, you know, look how many likes I got compared to what you got. Oh, I'm obviously better than you. I've seen a lot of people get shit on in like different chat groups that, you know, when I first started, I would see that. I'm like, well, that's kind of fucked up. I don't want to be a part of that. So I dip out.
Right.
And then just when somebody's trying to express themselves in a certain way, and then they get kind of crapped on because of it, saying, well, hey, that doesn't fit this format or that doesn't fit this format or right format.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a picture. It's still someone in the community sharing their stuff.
It's their style.
Why are you going to crap on it? Well, you should be saying,
It's like,
hey,
you didn't crop it the right way, so you're out. It doesn't follow the guidelines.
You put too much angle on that. Now you're done. Bye.
Right.
What?
Or you shot this with your phone. Get out of here. Like,
right.
Okay.
So, and I'm not taking the camera out of the bag.
Yeah. So I was having a conversation with one of the photographers the other day about like AI, using AI and people doing photos with like AI. I thought the AI with people's photos was you take your photo, you set your figures up, and you let AI do the editing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I mean, that's still art. You still put the effort in. You still do these figures together, took a picture, and so what if you let AI do the editing? Whatever, each your own. Not everybody can get good. I mean, it took me forever to get good at editing.
Yeah.
Right.
But then he went a little deeper.
Yeah, Danny still has no. People are just editing.
People are just
amateur.
say like words, and the AI develops it. Like there's a photo out there, and he was kind of using it as a demonstration. And he said, all I said was action figure, this, and that. And boom, it popped up this figure that looked like a legit action figure photo, but it was all AI. Here's my question. What do you guys think of that? About somebody just throwing, hey, AI, make me a picture of this.
So
my feeling on AI is I feel like if you are taking time out of your day to make something, even if it's AI, if you're drawing something, if you're writing a song, if you are taking a picture of your toys, if you're building something, if you're taking time out of your day and you are happy and you are enjoying what you're doing and you are putting it out there for other people to see because you're saying, I made this, I'm proud of this. Yeah. I think that's good. That's a completely acceptable thing. That's good. I like it. I don't have any problems with it. Unless it's some prick that's like drawing swastikas on shit, like fuck you, get out of here. There's other chat boards for that, with whatever.
Yeah.
But I think if you're putting your time and you're emotionally invested into what you're doing, then I don't think it matters if there's AI. There's groups out there that's like, oh, if you took this with if you used AI or if you used Photoshop at all, then it's not real action figure photography. And to that, I have to say, fuck off.
How many people don't use Photoshop? Just saying.
Well, I mean, and also too for the AI generation for the prompts, it's not as simple as just put it in. Usually, hey, I want a picture of a fox, a humanoid fox superhero on top of a rooftop in a post-apocalyptic setting with pizza boxes behind him. It doesn't come up like that. I promise you. Like I have to come up with for the 3D head sculpts. I got to come up with an idea, right, every time for the character of what it's gonna look like. Sure, I can sketch it by hand and then give it to the sculptor and have the sculptor do that shit. But instead, I'll spend like a good 2 weeks with ChatGPT talking about it, right, discussing it with the AI, and I think calling it AI at this point is way
overrated.
Yeah, because it's VI, it's extrapolating shit from already input stuff that's already out and made.
Yeah,
it's not coming up with anything on its own necessarily. It's pulling. So, but I'll ask it. I'm like, hey, on this planet, this is an alien planet. The conditions on it were different, a harsher environment. This is a humanoid formed, bipedal creature, resembles a wolf on Earth, right? But evolved to have scales instead of skin. What would you think it would look like? It would come up with some fucking random picture. You're like, okay, let's adjust the ears. Okay, let's change this. So it's like, hey, are you familiar with the kaiju verse, right? And it's like, okay, yes, I know this. You're like, okay, I want Godzilla's face, like the snout style, whatever animal that, add that. and then you end up at 2 weeks to get something that's closest to what you
Right.
had imagined, right? And then you give it to the sculptor, and then they make it into something physically you can print.
Yeah.
It's not just, hey, I want a hot dog with mayo, and it just
Right.
pops it out.
Yeah, I haven't messed with AI too much.
Yeah.
I did once. I
like
asked for a.
So
I asked. Speaking of Godzilla, I asked one time. I tried the AI thing, and I did the ice, like an ice version of Godzilla. I wanted like like ice. Dorsal fins and stuff. I got fucking Olaf. I'm like, AI does not fucking. I was like,
You
AI, you
failed
don't
me at
understand
AI.
me.
You gotta be really particular in the way you type.
I was waiting for AI to be like, you're a complete idiot. I'm like, all right, whatever. But like, Rabiston had a good question. He said, is it okay? AI is okay as long as you don't claim it as your work, and said that it's AI generated. So like,
Yeah,
do you guys agree on
that's
that?
that's a big source of contention with the AI, because it pulls off of everybody else's work and like puts it all together, which okay, there's maybe some issues with that, or like creatively there's some issues with that, but as far as I've seen, like people with AI, they put that it's AI, and I mean, even if they don't, it is. Like there is, it's no mistaking it.
Yeah, whenever, and a lot of times they're sharing it and saying this was created using, like you said, and they'll be particular. They'll tell you, oh, I used Midjourney, I used ChatGPT, I used this other random fucking app for $4.99 a month. All this. They'll tell you how they got there. So you're not coming up with this like 4-fingered creature on your own. Nobody's thinking, oh, he came up with that.
I agree with Go Figure. I tried that. It didn't work. Trust me. I'd be the first to say it doesn't work.
And if anybody that's on IG, especially in Facebook or Twitter's, if you're on that and you're posting your creative stuff, like your work, there's fine print. Those user agreements that when you set up the thing, everything that you post on these social medias is fair game. Like these AI bot companies, like they are using stuff from IG, from Twitter, all those hashtags that we use, DC, hashtag DC, hashtag Batman. I'm thinking of ones that I use regularly. Like we're giving the AI exactly, because
we're putting them in the right spots for it to pick it.
Right. If I do a picture of Batman and I use hashtag Batman or hashtag Owlman, like I did today, and then somebody goes into the AIs and says, I need a picture of Owlman, they're going through hashtags. Like, it's fair game.
Yeah.
Moral, is there a problem with it? Probably. But you know what? If you have a problem with it, then you should have read the user agreements a little bit closer and maybe get off of Instagram. Because that's the only way you're going to avoid it.
It goes back to me saying, like, if you're not getting like paid for something like that, like you say, it's fair game. It's if you're not working for a specific company where they're specifically telling you that you can't use this, then it is what it is. Like I mean,
if you're not making money off of it, and you not taking money out of someone else's mouth, who gives a shit?
Yeah. Unhuman says the 10 artists who were pulled or create AI images losing income and gain somehow to type words in search window is what I am led to believe. Okay.
I don't know. Like with however many times a person sits on ChatGPT and is like, what would Shrek look like if it was a hot ogress? Nobody made money off of that, and whoever tucked it to it did not like make another porn actress to not make money.
Yeah, right.
Like a lot of times it's very passive shit. Like people spend hours just like, what would this character look like in pantyhose? Like it's
like, now picture this: it's She-Hulk, but it's Rhea Ripley if she was She-Hulk. And Jade Cargill is a red She-Hulk. Now imagine a fight between them.
Oh my god! See,
unworthy. We would never see him again.
I gotta pause this. I gotta go take care of something.
Hey, mute that mic.
Now,
But Val,
Robinson is bringing up a really good point, though, talking about the AI
he says,
generated fake accounts.
all right.
Those are hilarious, but also it is problematic because the older generation is gullible as fuck,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they get scammed easy. So they're going to be thinking that all of those things are real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I honestly, I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
Yeah.
like I'm in this, like, it's funny because like I'll hear conversations about like, oh, like AI this and AI that, or practical this, practical that. I'm like, all right, well, who gives a fuck? Like, I don't know. I'm like in a world on my own where I'm just kind of just going with the flow with things. And I agree. Like, it just going again, if it's not something you're getting paid for and it's not something that a company's specifically telling you that you can't do, but again, IG's making it available. So like, who the hell are you to tell me I can't use this and can't use that? Like that's,
Yeah, it's you know,
weird.
it's all a matter of perspective. Like, you know,
Man.
what's important to you and what's catastrophic to you.
Yeah.
What's you know, like I had a conversation with somebody on Instagram last week where they were saying AI is one of the biggest problems that we face today. And I was like, really?
Only if it's called
Like,
Skynet.
I don't know.
Only if it's
I mean,
called
I've been
Skynet.
watching the news, and there's like a lot of alarming solar
Right.
flares going off on the sun. That kind of worries me. That's why
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
think
to
you
have
got a lot
fun.
bigger
and,
fish
fine.
to fucking fry. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems pretty serious. Like,
That
those could knock
motherfucker
out
is
the
probably
power
one of the reasons we
forever,
don't have
blow up.
bags at the grocery store anymore. Yeah.
or we have the paper straws at fucking
Right.
Burger King
Oh,
now.
Where
where
I gotta carry out 15 snacks from the fucking corner store. Every goddamn person judging me, they're like,
Any-
"Oh, you're mixing those
do you
two
guys-
things together?
Do you
It's
get
11 o'clock in the morning." You're
do
like,
you guys
"Fuck
get the
you, they
cardboard
don't have bags."
straws? Do you guys get the
Yeah.
cardboard straws?
Yeah, and they
at
just
Burger
fucking
King?
melt.
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
the time I get to like the second sip, my shit's like
Right.
leaning.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
already
like
"Get
a
the fuck out of
fucking-
here."
your damn
fucking
drink.
soggy cigarette. Like, it's gross, dude. Nobody
That
does that
reminds me,
shit.
when we were at Legion's Con, we went to Wendy's, and they had the fucking the styrofoam or the cardboard straws. And we got in Danny's car and we were leaving Wendy's, and I went to take a sip of my Dr. Pepper, and the straw was like all mush, and I go, motherfucker, and I ripped the top and the straw, and I whipped it out of his window, and he just looked.
Yeah.
I look over, he's looking at me, he's like, "Are you okay, honey?" I go,
It's
"I'm fine now."
Rabbits then says AI is a tool to use. We are at the age where things are getting fully automated. Everything we are getting closer to Cyber 9 Judgment Day.
Yep.
Right, I agree.
Skynet.
Hey,
baby,
listen,
Skynet.
whenever it happens, just please find John Connor and keep him safe. Whenever that happens,
Right.
just make sure you find John Connor.
Let's
now-
hasten the apocalypse. Fuck it.
Now here's a
enough
good.
shit I can
Now here's
do.
a question for you guys. Like what like, because I hear a lot of this sometimes within the community. I hear sometimes where like there's debates where
He's
like,
lying. He don't hear shit.
somebody takes seriously. There's somebody takes a photo of something and they criticize it and don't call it, like, that's not toy photography. Like AI, right? Like somebody using AI, it's not toy photography to them. Like what do you guys say to stuff like that? Like,
Is it a picture of a toy?
gatekeeping? I think for
well, I mean, there's
for
a
me,
toy. There's
like,
a
it
toy
ties.
involved, but like they have AI. Like I seen this one photo, and I can't remember where it was. It was a Superman photo. It was the Superman Action Comics #1, and he was like punch. I can't remember the artist, but the photo was amazing. He's like punching this robot, and I believe the robot was AI, and everything around it seemed like it's AI. I think the only thing that wasn't was the Superman. And I thought it was an amazing photo. I mean, I didn't think.
Oh, so
anything
he's
of it.
mixing. He's mixing.
He's mixing.
A
Yeah,
picture with the
Yeah.
figure.
yeah.
and
Well,
just
I
mix-
mean, I think.
some people have
and-
that style.
Yeah. So, like, do you guys agree? Do you guys think that's not like that's
Dude,
not that would be? In the
I saw
category of
someone
being-
recently has been doing something I thought was awesome and funny. They've been printing or cutting out of comics. They've been cutting out of comics pictures and shit
Yeah.
and putting them on the figures.
Oh.
So like they made like a really cool, like it's an anime character who's a boxer, right? Like Punch Out type. I don't know what the anime is called. But out of the manga, they cut out the face because there's no figure of the character. They just cut the face out and they stuck it on there and took a picture. It was posed right. You can tell it's a 2D image on the face, but I thought it was unique. I thought it was fun. It's this
Sounds
gatekeeping
pretty
shit,
cool.
dude. That's what it is. It's the gatekeeping shit. It's
Yeah.
tying back to the previous question about the toxicity in the community or about not getting involved with the community, right? If all of us go and buy a figure, we could just buy the figure and that's it. Keep it in a box, put it in a tote and store it. Be an inbox collector who doesn't even look at that shit. Or you can take it out of the box and set it aside. Or you can take it out, play with it, take pictures. Or you can even have online connectivity to where you can join groups and talk to other adults who share similar interests.
Yeah.
Where this old way of thinking, where we're like, oh, adults have a really hard time making friends. Horseshit. No, we don't. It's more of like a lot of us work in environments where we don't want to fucking hang out with our coworkers after work, right?
Yeah.
I want to go home and play video games or look at action figures or talk about action figures. None of my coworkers want to. Well, now we have that ability. You buy a new figure and you're like, oh, this is a company I never heard of. You go online, you find a couple people on Instagram or on Facebook, you talk to them. A few years later, like you're saying, you go to a con and you're fucking meeting them in person.
Yeah.
No. You know what I mean? We're better than how they were. We're better off than people 20 years ago. We can be better, like make friends. And it's the same thing with the gatekeeping shit. I think a lot of us in high school didn't struggle as far as giving a fuck about being popular, right? And being in a clique or not. I had a great time in high school, right? I had friends with everybody. But I wasn't about to go to any of the functions or any of the other bullshits. No. So now it's the same thing with the gatekeeping. The people who are like in chats talking shit about other people. Oh, you see how many subscribers this channel has? Oh, only this many. It was like, who gives a fuck? Like Unworthy was saying at the beginning of the show, we're gonna be on next week, whether you're here or not.
Yeah.
Like this is not a popularity contest. If you're thinking that's what it is, it's a fucking sad existence, man.
It is.
Like, that's
it is
how I feel about it.
And that's kind of like where the where I kind of just kind of like don't partake in none of that. This is the year. I call this the year of no fuckery 2024. Right. This is the year hashtag no fuckery 2024 where I don't get involved with stuff like that. I don't like there've been conversations me and Unworthy have had of like we were getting like less followers like on our things, like our followers were dropping significantly, and like we went ahead and was like, so did you notice how big how nice Rhea's ass looked in those like tight things? Like we just like cut because to us, because again to me it's like I take pride and I take more of an enjoyment just making somebody laugh that's going through or even just reaching out to somebody and say, hey, listen, I haven't heard from you in a while. I know, I understand you're taking a break and stuff like that, but I just want to let you know, hey, I'm thinking about you. I hope everything's well. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that I've had conversations with. Like, I take pride doing that. Like, that to me comes first before anything. And I always say that I could always turn this off. I could easily just go ahead and delete my page and say, you know what? I'm not doing this shit because I don't have to. It's not a job. But it's just like sometimes unfortunately, we get these bad apples who kind of project that on people where they make you feel like this is like a job. Like, and again, all respect to those, and this is not all respect to those who are, and like they're not even included in this conversation. Those who are getting paid to do this.
Oh yeah.
Or those who are creating things and making it a living.
That's
like,
a different game.
Hats off to you. I'm your biggest cheerleader. But like for those,
those people that are, the people that are getting paid to do these, if they're getting paid to do pictures for these companies, they're not involved in the community. Like they're taking pictures and posting it, and the community is indulging upon it. But they're not in group chats talking to people from the community. They're not in group collabs and shit like that. Like
now things are evolving and changing a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So some smaller outfits are becoming more courageous and going out to, instead of the union photographer or the same photographer that takes pictures of shampoo bottles and dildos, taking a picture of your action figure,
That's a good
right?
job.
Right, they're going to a figure photographer. They're going
Yeah.
to some asshole on Instagram who gets 3,000 likes for a photo of a Lego Batman. Why?
Yeah.
Because his product, the product of his work, that photograph, it's business, it's money, right?
Yeah.
It's not the, oh, I placed this thing on a white background and oh, look at it. Like the Todd Father and a lot of his product photography, it irritates the shit out of me. He'll have a figure pose, right? For the you're about to buy this shit on Big Bad, and then it'll be standing like this with the leg just fucked. Like it'll
Yep.
be off askew. You're like, so you couldn't be fucked to just put it straight down on both feet?
You couldn't
Like
put
you're
a little
trying to have
effort.
me pay $30 now, not even 20, and you can't even show me that the motherfucker can stand straight. Like that's lazy,
That's fair. That's fair.
right? So that's why I was like super excited. For instance, last year, Plunderlings, right? The first Plunderlings wave came out and it looked great and everything was good. And then the second wave came out with the Plunder Strongs and the Plunder Longs. And now you'll see on the box, I don't have one here in hand to show, but on the box on the back, all of the product photographs that are on all of those were done by PL Toy Box Photography, which is Pablo. He's a part of the community. We have him on the show all the time. I've met him a couple times in person for the last 2 Allegiance cons. A real person, a real goddamn collector. A person who's just like us, except that he takes a lot better photos. A company, it wasn't Hasbro that went and said, oh, let's throw money his way. No, it was a company that still was at risk of, failing. Like you just released first wave. Your second wave already, you're going with some Instagram photographer to take your photos, the product photos. They did. And guess what? It buys you goodwill and a lot more respect than Hasbro and their shit will ever do. Horseman, they're doing the same thing with the 1.6 shooter. They do the same stuff. Like it's this kind of shit that makes it real. Yeah. How amazing is that?
And,
right.
Kill Cutter photo.
100%.
And 88 Figs, he was doing them for that. What's that company there? They had. They're not the Biblical Adventures.
There were the
D13.
No, there was no. It was the
That's one's.
It wasn't Savage Crucible. Was it Savage
Crucible?
Crucible?
Savage Crucible. That's
you taking for Savage Crucible?
Yeah, he was taking pictures for them. Like you go on Big Bad Toy Store and you see Morphonauts got Wentzilla and you see Savage Crucible's got pictures from 88 or Almighty Legends.
Oh, right. Almighty! Thank you, Diggs. Appreciate it.
The Amazing does the Savage Crucible ones.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I was wrong. My bad. My apologies. Danny, you were right. I was wrong. But it's
Diggs Figs was right.
Well, you told me I was wrong, and I was like, "No, I'm not. Shut up." But it's amazing to see that these companies are, like you said, Kyle. They're rolling the dice. They've got a lot to lose, but they're banking on the people who are actually going to be, playing with these, using them, taking pictures of them. It's
right.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, just to kind of like segue off this toxicity. Oh my god, I can't even say it. Like, what is
positivity?
Let's go. So, what is something that something that inspires you from like this community that inspired you so much that now you currently have this page or this show that you guys do, like kind of just showing love? What is something that inspires you the most in this community?
Go ahead, Bob. I went first last time.
I could go first if you guys want me to. I'll go first. Just to kind of well, I mean, one of the things that I would say that inspires me so much in this community that's kept me like here, because there have been times where I'm like, this, there have been times where there have been like weeks, maybe 2 weeks I don't take photos. I just no drive, no anything. One of the things that like inspires me so much is the level of creativity, how somebody could take something like a Lego, right? Or even like a mini mates, or take something and make it like a fun, like make it like those fun photos, right? Like those mashups.
Yeah.
I seen this one photo of this person, and I believe they showcased it last night, and they did it was Gumby, and Gumby looked like Rambo, and he was like shooting, he had this mouth open.
Oh, I seen that one.
And and like that's a perfect example. I can't, and whoever the artist is, shout out to that artist because he was fucking amazing. And I was looking at that photo, and I was like, that's the kind of shit right there that keeps me around, because I've always been a big fan of like when people take something and they usually like, they're having fun. It's not like I want to make this shit look like this movie, right? Like sometimes I do that. Like I'm gonna critique myself. There's times I get so fucking frustrated where I want to make this something look exactly the same way I'm looking at, because I take my inspirations from like stills and movie posters. I want to make it exactly like that, and it gets frustrating. And it works. It doesn't work out. It always works out when I freestyle it. Sequential plastic, yes. It was sequential plastic, yes. Shout out to Zach because he's awesome. So to see a photo like that, and then many others, because I've seen it, to see people like that, that's kind of like that click in my head. That's what inspires me. That's that click in my head where it's like, why the fuck are you even taking yourself so fucking serious? These are toys. Like this guy took a photo of Gumby. Zach took a photo of Gumby as fucking Rambo. Like I've seen somebody have Alf as fucking He-Man, and like things like that, like little things like that. It's like that's like a slap in the wrist to me. That's what inspires me. That's what makes me like, all right, let me take this photo, and whatever fucking comes out of it, let me make sure that I had fun doing this. I had fun doing this photo, right? And that's the key thing, right? So that's the thing that inspires me. So I hope that kind of like helps you guys. So like Val, you got what inspires you, Val?
I think one of my the biggest things that I enjoy seeing on my feed when I'm going through, like all of us have on our follow list a lot of amazing artists, whether they're creators, they're painters, they're photographers. It's whenever people are not being like what I would call twat waffles about it, right?
I like that.
So they're taking the time, right? Not only to like take an amazing photo, for instance, but they'll like do a behind the scenes too. They're like, oh look, this looks insane, but actually I just did this on the bathroom counter, and I used my wife's or my girlfriend's hairspray to make this come out here, and you can see the dog who's right there bothering the shit out of me while I'm doing that. And it's because for a lot of us, like even especially I'm in Oregon, so we have a tiny bit of space, right? I'm not in the city proper. All right, so I can go outside and have a smoke without walking into my neighbor's yard or some shit. I don't have a yard; it's a fucking apartment. But going into the city, people are up each other's ass, right? So space is at a premium. So a lot of times you're gatekeeping a ton of people out of the hobby altogether whenever they're seeing a photo and they're like, I don't have a dining room table to set up a battle scene. And you're like, me neither. I have a screen that I took the photo on. I have it here in the background. And I did this little thing and boom, it looks like I have a lot of space, but I'm also bored. Because, like, look, we can buy a Mezco for like $100 and not bat an eye. It's one thing. Having a fucking mortgage in this economy is another. So, yeah, we can afford the goddamn Mezco and still live in an apartment. It's okay. We want to take nice photos. So it's whenever motherfuckers are like, are real about it and they share with you, they're like, oh, this is my process. They're like, oh, cool. So you're not like up your own ass about it. And I get it. Not everybody wants to reply. If you have 3,000 likes on a photo and you're asking someone a technical question about the photo, maybe they don't have time. And also an Instagram post is not really the best way to learn or to transfer that. Some people just do those simple things. Some people will post a picture of their settings for their photos. I use my phone most of the time. Like we have a nice camera. It's in another room in a bag. That is so much work that I would just fucking take it on my phone. Honestly.
There you go.
Like I'm lazy as shit. So that's me. But there are other people who will read those specs and be like, "Oh, I know what this means. Oh, I
Yeah.
know how he did it. He used the shutter speed, this lens,
Yeah.
all this," and they'll go copy it, and it works for them, and that's
Yeah.
fucking great. Because that person wasn't just a dickhead and was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna share my secrets." It's like
Yeah.
secrets fucking what? Getting 3,000 likes? Ooh.
When I
Yeah.
first got got started, I was using my phone. It's all I ever used. And then Toy Talk did Shutter Slam, and I was like, you know what? I'm in this. I'm gonna get a camera. I'm gonna use camera.
Nice.
And I would watch those videos like you're talking about, where the people would, it'd show what their settings are, and I'd be like, all right, all right, all right. And then I'd be
Trying
on
to
the
get
phone
it.
with, Clintastic 4. I was like, so this guy, he's got his setting at 100. How do I do that on my
What
camera?
damn setting is that?
You're like,
Where do I
100
find that on my
what?
camera?
That's true.
Shout out to
Raven.
Fantastic, though. He is always teaching me. He is always helping me out. That guy is, anytime I am having a hard time with something that I'm trying to do, I'll send him picture after picture, and he'll just, that man, he's got the patience of a saint. He never, ever tells me to leave him alone. He's just like, all right,
That's
we'll
great.
do it the same way, but
selfless.
tweak this a little. Do this. You know what? That didn't work. Do this.
Such a selfless guy. Never.
Where he could
no.
just say, "Fuck off" and leave me alone.
No. Just guys who willing to, like, guys who are like really good. Because again, there's so many people that have stronger. That here he goes, Clint. Which basically, there you go.
Pretty much.
People who have like stronger, they're like stronger in certain areas that are willing to, like, Clint's like that. He's willing to, like, hey, let me teach you, like, even Photoshop. Like I think I talked to Unworthy yesterday, and I was like, this fucking Photoshop thing is like kicking my ass. I don't know what to do. I'm watching all these videos, and I'm like, I can't do it. And it's like, Clint's definitely one of those guys who's willing to, like, say, hey, listen, take your time.
He goes, I asked somebody for help, and they said that, you need to watch this Sir Dork thing. And then he's like trying to tell me something he wants to do with his Godzilla photo. I was like, I know how to do that. So what you want to do is, first thing is, get on YouTube and watch this Sir Dork video.
It's like, what the hell? Ravens, what inspires you in the community, man? What is something that inspires you? Yeah.
This right here is exactly what you guys said. People reaching out and to other people and them being helpful, not just being dicks about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that's the part of what makes the community a community. Everybody's out there to help each other out. You're not there to to shit on somebody. You're there to say, hey, I had this, I've used this, or hey, try this. I mean, hell, most of my props, this reptile foam, I bought it on, like, Amazon for like $10. But I mean, let's see, who it was it Blitz that used the damn brown paper bag for a cave?
I've seen that. Yeah,
I've seen that so many times.
It's people reaching out and say, hey man, how'd you do that shot? Oh, I did this.
Yeah.
Or I tried this, or I've looked into this. And everybody helping each other get better. Yeah. That's what we're here for. We're here. If you want to get better, reach out. Reach
absolutely.
out to most of the people in the community, and they'll help you out. And just don't be dicks. That's plain and simple. Don't be dicks.
Nice to each other. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
We are all grown men, all grown adults, playing with our toys, taking pictures of it, and calling it art. So why can't we all just get along and accept that?
Yeah. The only people that should ever complain are our wives.
100%.
Those are the only people who have the right to say, hey, I'm fucking frustrated because of this. That they have. As a matter of fact, we should have like an episode with just the wives here, just to hear their feedback, how they feel.
Oh my God! Can you imagine an episode with your wife and my wife? Oh my God!
Jesus, that'd be great. Nico says, dudes, Jedi Jack, whoa, a human being, y'all. Amazing artist, and he is for dioramas and much more. You guys said, yeah, absolutely. Like, and that's another person. Again, it goes back to me saying, if you have not experienced, and this is just my opinion, you have not experienced a community, and I'm not just talking toy photography, I'm talking anything.
Yeah.
Dials, cosplay, music. You have not experienced, like, even the guests that we've had here and learning their stories. Chain Brothers, Jamie Bear, cosplay,
Food
Food
stamps.
Stamps, Chubsy Wubsies being a store.
Yep.
Like, learning from these people and hearing their stories and having this connection, and like, you have not, like, if you haven't taken the time to actually love the photo, but love the person behind that camera more,
right?
Behind that camera more, like, show or love that cosplayer, that person in that cosplay more, like, show them love, because they're the ones putting themselves out there. You know how many cosplayers I've spoken to? I've go to New York Comic Con, I've spoken to, and one of the things they always tell me is like, you don't understand how self-conscious I was wearing this, because I have an issue with revealing, like, showing, like, even just an arm. Like, they have that, and the fact that they're so brave and they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it, and they get so much love and so much people taking photos. Or even somebody like musicians, like, I had this song, and you know how many times I've been turned down on these gigs, or this tape I've been turned down so many times, and that shit didn't kill me. That didn't kill my motivation. I kept going and I got better. Like, shit like that. Like if you haven't experienced that and you haven't taken the time to experience that, shame on you. Like, you're really here for the wrong reasons, honestly. And I can't tell you what to do. Do what the hell you want to do. But me, and I'm gonna, like, soak it all in. Like, now, this is a perfect segue for my next episode. My next question.
What are you talking about?
Is it next Thursday already?
No. Perfect question. Next question is, who, not what, who has inspired you in this community? I'll go first. I have many people that inspired me in this community. I have many people. There's one person who inspires me that's always inspired me, and that's Zombie Clown Photographies. If you guys don't know who Zombie Clown is, go check his page out. It's funny because he's such a humble, selfless guy. Like, I tell him he's my favorite toy photographer. I always tell him that. And he laughs. He's like, haha, yeah, you all these great toy photographers, you want to peek me. The reason I say it is because when I remember when I first started, and I was asking, like, I even had close friends that I was asking, like, tips and stuff on cameras and stuff like that. And, like, they would always, like, have, like, jabs of, like, you know, you're starting off, you kind of want to do it. And, you know, when you're starting to be, when you're beginning, you kind of want to do what everybody else is doing. You're not actually taking your, I was doing the DCU EU route. I was, like, trying to catch up to Marvel. Like, I'm like, slow your ass down, relax, like, start from scratch. So I was trying to, like, be like Sir Dork. I was trying to be like Sir Dork. I wanted to be like all these other great photographers. And, like, he's one of those people that anytime he took a photo, or anytime he was on Toy Talk, because he was one of the hosts on Toy Talk, he would always say, like, things like, you know, take your time, and, like, and his photos really inspired a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do. So you could see a lot of, like, the images, like, they're not exactly the same, but you could see a lot of, like, the inspiration in the photos that I do, because all his photos are, like, portrait poster quality. And that's what I love. I love poster quality and all that stuff. So I took a lot from that, but also too, I took a lot, like, even, like, to be able to ask somebody a question. It's like, hey, how do you set your lights up like that? Hey, just set your light this way. Hey, put your lights here, add this light, add some fog to it. Like, things like that, being able to, like, just be able to say, like you were saying, Bio, earlier, like, not hiding these fucking secrets. Like, you know,
right?
Hey, you know, dude, like, this is not that fucking serious. Like, hey, put a fog machine here, use this, use that, like, stuff like that really inspired. So he's definitely one of those people, and I will always commend him for that, because, again, a lot, and even then, like, to hear, like, honestly, I get honored, and I feel privileged to hear him say, man, that photo you took was amazing. I'm like, fuck, man, like, the guy that I was, like, looking at his
Danny's
photos,
like twirling his hair. He's like, do you mean it?
Like, really? Really? So, like, I love, again, shout out to him, because not only is he amazing photographer, but he's an amazing person. And, like, he's one of those people that's definitely willing to, like, hey, listen, but also too, like, getting to know him as a human being, and getting to know him as a person, having great conversations. And that's even better for me. So, perfect segue. Who inspired you in this community? Who's somebody that inspired, or maybe two? Maybe if there's more than one or two, who's inspired you in this community? Raven.
Let me get out the list. I mean, I try to take inspiration from everybody. I mean, depending on what I'm trying to do, I look at different people that have done it already, like you guys, Lazy Boys. I keep mentioning you guys, but it from the get-go, you guys have been there. You guys have been supportive. You guys have been from the top. So, where I want to take my pages, I take that inspiration from you guys. As far as photography, 1/6 shooter, I want to be that mythic guy.
Yeah.
Ever since Detour Custom
awesome.
sent me that mythic, the little skeleton builder.
Yeah.
It clicked. Those are that's my line. That's what I shoot the best. Because I like that fantasy world. I like how they build their figures.
Yeah.
I like them being adult Legos because you can take them apart and put them back together.
True. All
across the yard.
Yeah.
I've built dwarves out of goblins. I've built skeletons out of knights. And not big trying to be the show for Mythic Legions, but Mythic Legions toys and the Four Horsemen toys, their stuff, what they produce pushes me to be better because I want to make the best out of those toys. My pictures, I want of that line, I want to be the best. And the best person I've seen shooting them is 1/6 shooter.
Yeah.
His work is amazing. His videos, he does the BTS. He tells you, hey, I do this, I do this, I adjust this, I make this. And he makes the shit look simple, but damn, I still ain't there yet. Trying. But I'm not there yet. But I mean, there's a little bit of inspiration from everybody I've met in the community.
Yeah.
And that's where I try and do. I don't try to pinpoint one person or one thing. It's I'm trying to turn this into hell. Chubsy's inspired me. I want to open my own toy shop. I want to learn from him.
Yeah.
I mean, when you guys did the interview, I want you to take notes. All right, so I need to know this. I need to know this. Got it.
Yeah.
And again, going back to community. That's what it's about. Everybody inspiring everybody else. Not
Absolutely.
Not putting a specific person on a pedestal, but putting the community on a pedestal, saying I can learn from him, I can learn from them, I can learn from everybody because everybody's doing something different, and it's all ways for you to improve and say, hey, I want my shot to look like that. How do I do that? Hey, DM, what did you do for this? I'll answer.
Yeah.
It's all about building each other up and not trying to tear each other down.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely. I agree 100%. 100%. Val, anybody who's inspired you?
I think I'm generally speaking, I do one of the people that I've always enjoyed and I like how the impact they've had is Glenn Webb.
Okay.
He was a collector, customizer, but also enjoyed collecting the figures, enjoyed breaking them down and modifying them and talking about toys.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like the time when you no longer play with them and enjoy that is kind of like the good sign to check out on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On a hobby or on a passion altogether. So I think for that part, that's a good inspiration is just being avoiding the toxic horse shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's
awesome.
Fuck,
high school cliques. Nobody has time for that shit.
That hashtag, that's going to be the new hashtag. Fuck high school cliques. I like it.
Enjoy what you collect because you collect it and because it makes you happy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Here's a perfect example. I really started getting into these superpower figures.
Right.
I'm not collecting these because I'm going to take pictures of them. I'm taking pictures. I'm collecting them because I had similar figures when I was a kid, and I just love it. It's nostalgic. I got Sinestro and Green Lantern this week. I just ordered more from the waves today, and it's I know I'm not going to take pictures of these things. But you know what? I'm actually probably going to have them on display. I'm going to have them. They're going to end up being back here.
Yeah.
If you're be a collector first, enjoy what you're collecting.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Still your
Otherwise, why are you spending your money on it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if anybody's spending their money on thinking it's a race against the other person who has them, you guys don't know each other in real life. It's a stranger on the internet.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Oh, awesome. Unworthy, who's inspired you, man?
You know, I think I've said it before, and I will say it again, and I will continue to say it. There was a time when I was doing just randomly just pumping out pictures that didn't matter, like just to have content, and like I started to get into this slump where I didn't enjoy what I was doing. I didn't enjoy posting every day, and I was having a lot less fun. And then I came across EC Toy Picks and Copper State Collectibles now, and their storytelling in their pictures, like they do amazing pictures, but there's a story behind it as well, and you can see it in the caption, and you can see it in the way that they crafted their pictures. Like it really changed my line of thinking, and it really reinvigorated my like, all right, well, I want to do this picture not because I just need something to post now. I wanted to do this picture because this would be a cool story to tell, or this would be a cool, like this whole week with the No Justice collab that was today. Like I had it in my head, I was going to do this riff on Batman versus Superman, but it was going to be Owlman and Ultraman. And like I had more fun this week just making these little reels and making these little teasers, and like just to post the one picture today. And that's all due to the refinding my enjoyment in telling the story of the shit rather than just pumping it out. And that's due to, like I said, EC Toy Picks and Copper State Collectibles. They inspire me daily. Their work inspires me daily.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Now, for anybody that's watching this, if you're struggling and you're watching this and you're like, and you faced anything that we've talked about tonight, you're not alone in this. We've been through this. We've dealt with shit like this. We've dealt with people shitting on our stuff. We've dealt with people critiquing our stuff. We've dealt with the clicks. We've dealt with people just being toxic. But you see how everybody has a different way of coping with these things, right? But again, the more important thing that I could say to people is just to kind of like find your own way, right? Like it's okay to be inspired by those people that inspire you, be inspired by like the community, but always find your way, right? And never forget that whatever you're doing, whether it's music, toys, dials, whatever it is, make sure it's something that brings you joy. Yeah, that comes first. Whatever brings you joy comes first before anybody. Then after that, you can share it. And then after that, all right, I'll give it away. But as long as it makes you happy, be your first critique. Like me, I look at my photos. I'm like, this photo is shit. I don't like it. I'm okay saying that because it's me saying that. I'm okay saying that. But then, okay, once I've gained that confidence within myself to say, hey, that photo I just took is a piece of shit, then I can be like, hey, Unworthy, what do you think of this photo? Well, Danny, that photo is a piece of shit. I'm like, you know what? I said the same thing. I agree with you 100%, right? You know what I'm saying? You build that confidence within yourself.
I don't know that I've ever said it so rashly. Because you're my brother. I love you a lot. I try to let you down easy.
He does. No, but like sometimes it's good to kind of get that confidence within yourself, and then anybody else saying anything, whether you take it as constructive criticism or people are just being assholes, like that shit. If constructive criticism, you'll take it with love, right? If somebody says, hey, you can do this better, but like anybody being an asshole, you'll be like, fuck you. It's a toy. I don't give a fuck.
And especially within your own circle, like, feedback is very important, and having just everybody in your circle just be an echo chamber of your own farts. If you think, everything you're doing is great and they're like, oh yeah, it's great, you're never going to fucking evolve. The mentality of if it ain't broke, don't fix it is why we don't have hover cars yet. Because in the 80s, they're like, oh, we're going to have hover cars in 20 years. Not with how they fucking did things. No, they just kind of checked out, man.
We don't even have. No, fuck that.
Right. So like, we gotta step shit up, man.
I hear you. I agree 100%. Well, listen, guys. Thank you thank you so much for like you guys. And I told you this in the beginning, in the backstage, whatever. Thank you so much for what you guys do, right? What you guys put out, right? And even hearing your feedback now, it shows how much passion and how much love and how much fun you're having doing what you do, right? And being honest about, hey, I don't like the vibe. Like I don't like this fucking figure. Like you know, whatever. Being honest and Raven just, you know, wanted to just be selfless and show, hey, I want to just showcase people, give back what they gave me. I want to give that back. You know what I'm saying? Like, we appreciate that so much. And that's what's needed, and not just in this community, but like in all communities, right? Everything, like every different hobby, right? Because this show right here, this showcases and loves on all hobbies, not just toys, right? But we wanted to have an episode where we showed our toy photography people some love, right? Because it does relate to other people as well. But this is a perfect time to kind of like give your plugs, man. Any plugs, anything coming up, anything, anybody?
Yeah, plug your shows, plug your channel, plug your hashtags, you know, all that good stuff.
You got more than I do, Vile. I ain't got nothing started yet besides my other channel. Mine will be short. Go ahead.
Well, I'm on Instagram, Vile Labs. Also run Highly Posable on Instagram. We do a Highly Posable show on Fridays. Me and my two other co-hosts, KJ Smith and Steam Powered Mom. Like I said, we just do a weekly hangout. We talk toys, talk news. We have our hashtags. It's okay to be a poser. So we run through those. We shout out everybody. We look at their photos. So, and we're heavy on, you know, sharing with the community, getting everybody involved too. We do on the chats. That's one of the biggest things why we're on every week is to hang out with those people in the chat.
Awesome.
You know, right? And to just shoot the shit about toys, man. So yeah, if you would like, Highly Posable tomorrow at 7 Pacific time.
There you go.
And we say this about all of our guests. If you're not following Highly Posable and Vile Labs, then do us a favor and unfollow us, you ungrateful.
Ravens, anything to plug, man? What you got?
Just go check out the Ravens Roost. It's nothing but promoting other photographers. I'm doing 3 features a week. I pick somebody out. I give them a few questions. I take their photos. I put them in a reel because that shit has been so much fun to do. I've been loving that. And I do like a little write up for them. I promote whatever they've got going on. And then, like I said, sometime in the future is going to be a YouTube channel where I'm going to start doing like reviews and con coverage and things. Just trying to get out there and seeing people in the community and doing that. And then I'm going to start trying to be more consistent with the hashtags. Like for February, it's going to be Funko February. So I'm going to reach out and try to get some features on some Funko photographers. Yeah. And just push their stuff out because I mean Funkos are fun too. I do a lot. I mean, I've been able to do a lot with those.
Shout out to the Funko collectors.
And then
yeah. And you know, there's a lot of misconception in like the action figure photography community that people don't like people who do Funko photography. I love seeing Funko photography.
We love Funko.
It's funny to joke about it, but honestly, if you can make a Funko or a Lego come out good in a photo, then it's impressive shit.
If you take photos of Funkos, you are more than welcome to come here and tell us about the Funko.
It's a challenge because you're not posing the figure because they don't pose.
Right.
You got to pose your background.
You got to tell the story around them.
Yeah. You got to build up everything, and that's why I think I like taking pictures of them. I've kind of got away from it because, well, my addiction of mythics. Yeah,
mythic.
That kind of destroyed everything else. But for February, I think I'm going to go away from the action figures, and most of the stuff I'm going to drop is going to be outside of the specific collabs. I'm going to be dropping Funko pictures. And I'm going to be out there pushing what I preach.
Yeah.
Give me the Funko collectors. Give me you if you want me to do a feature on you, just reach out to me. Reach out to either Ravens Studios or Ravens Roost. I'll throw something together for you, and we'll see where it goes.
Absolutely.
But it's again, it's pushing everybody in the community. I mean, every month. This is where you inspired me, Chloe Addict, doing a different thing. Like your different colors for Black and Wednesdays. I want to do a different kind of toy or action figure thing for every month. So we'll see where that goes. Because you know what March is going to be, because it starts with an M. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, man. And again, for everybody that's watching, if you're not following these guys, go give them a follow. Go check out their page. Go check out their YouTube channel. Soon to be YouTube channel. Go check out Pear Studios. Go check him out. Yep. Go check out his lives on IG. Amazing guy. Great interviews. He's had amazing people on. And again, he does the same thing, man. He shows love to people in the community. It's an amazing thing. As far as us, just kind of like, as always, guys, for everybody's watching, you want to hit that like button, subscribe button if you haven't, share this page. Again, we know how to turn it off. We know how to turn it off. We show love. Or don't.
We can take it slow. We can hold hands.
We love it.
Walk into the door. I won't try to kiss you. It's fine.
We don't like to move to third base that quick. We actually like to take our time.
I mean, right? I prefer to go that quick, but I don't need to.
No is no. No is no for me. So if you want to just give me a handshake at the door and walk right in, I'll say, hey, I hope we could. Can I take you for coffee? And you say no. I was like, fuck it. It is what it is. So definitely some love.
And, you can catch us tomorrow night on Go Figure Go on Friday 15. Toy Addict and I are going to be co-hosting with Go Figure Go, featuring some people's photography and some diorama builders and stuff of that nature. I probably should have been prepared to tell you what time that is. But I don't have it written down in front of me. But you could go check it out. We'll promote it tomorrow too.
We're going to be doing exactly what we were talking about here, just showing people some love, and they're showing amazing toy photographers, because that's what we do. And besides that, you go catch me on Sunday. I will be a guest on Lazy Boys with Blitzfigs, Green Geek 88. Our brother AB, we love AB, one of our Rowdy Boys, AB, and then Thor. So 2012. So I'll be a guest with them on Sunday for Lazy Boys. I'm very unhinged, so stay tuned. Also, please stay tuned, because I'm gonna do a giveaway that Sunday. So stay tuned. I'm gonna do a giveaway. I'll call it a Rowdy Boy.
Big Willie giving away something on somebody else's show.
Yeah, it's I call it a Rowdy Boy giveaway. A Rowdy Boy giveaway. And just to kind of like I got something special planned for the 14th of February. So I'm very excited.
I know what it is.
I got something planned. I got something planned for the 14th of February. So stay tuned for that. More details for that. But other than that, listen, guys. Again, just to hear you guys and hear the passion. Again, you guys are fucking amazing. Continue to do what you do. Continue to be who you are, as real as you fucking are, because that's all I got. That's all the vibes that I got tonight. Thank you for everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you for everybody who's watching the replay. Much love to you as always. Thank you for all the support as always as well. And we usually like to end the show with a quote. So Vile or Ravens, do you guys have a quote you want to end the night with? Like anything, it could be from a movie, TV show, song. It could be from whatever. Something you learned from the neighborhood drunk today, or whatever.
And if you don't, it's okay. We always have one on standby. So
yes.
One I like is the only way out is through. I don't know what it's from, but I like its spitefulness.
Yeah. I like the sound of that. Yeah. And as always, with that being said,
good night, beautiful.
Thank you for tuning in.
Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button.
Click that notification bell
for more content.